Hi, friends. I want to talk about the blessing of God. Uh, I was thinking about in our life, sometimes we can always reminisce and think about what if, what if I had a dad? What if I had a mom? What if I grew up in a different situation? In a lot of families that have toxic relationships and the kids grow up in dysfunctional families, which are pretty much all of them. Um, you'll grow up always seeking, your what you never had. Like for example, mommy issues or daddy issues. So you're kind of like always looking for a father that you never had, and that's what you're attracted to. Someone like one of your like typically girls will marry like guys who resemble their father. Now, if you think about the blessing of God is what makes you rich. You're gonna realize something in life, and this is kind of like a hack. And it's I just kind of really understood this hack, and it's not really a hack because this was in our faces this whole time. It's like in the Bible, when you read the Bible and it talks about the blessing of God is what riches is what makes you rich. Um, the blessing of God is the key to happiness, and if you can figure out how to get that happiness, you won. You already have an advantage because it doesn't matter who raised you or what you've gone through in life. It's like the blessing of God. Like, well, how can you attain His blessing and enjoy the benefits of your Almighty Creator? You know, how can you enjoy that and absorb it and suck it in and just totally, um, no matter what life happens to you, if you don't have a mom or dad, or say uh, you don't have direction, in other words, because a lot of families they don't have that sense where there's guidance, where the mom and dad will care enough to teach you, because you're basically at the world's mercy. So how these kids grow up and they learn the hard way. Have you heard of that? The the school of hard knocks. We're like, well, I learned by experience, so we have to go through all this hardship and heartache before we realize, man, how can we get through life without going through all this pain? And it's impossible, right? Because you're gonna say, well, there's gonna be life happens, things happen, but the blessing of God is what makes you rich. So despite all the terrible things that happen in life as due to just normal things, either satanic things or imperfection things, how can you overcome those? You know, just life things. Think about it. When something very terrible happens to you, who do you look for? You pray to God. Some people pray to God, but they don't have His blessing. So that's why they don't get an answer, because the blessing of God is what makes you rich. So when you're going through these problems and you have God's blessing, you seek Him for advice, you seek Him for answers, you seek Him for love, you seek Him for attention. He's gonna show you. He will show you. But how can you seek somebody? How can you expect something from somebody when you don't do anything? It sounds like one sided, right? Because if I want God, I'm saying, God, help me, but you don't show that you love Him. You don't follow His commandments. You don't respect others, or you live a life of selfishness, of greediness, of like me. But you say, I want God, or God bless me, help me. How come you're letting this happen to me? But you never read His Word. You never pray like like regularly. You just pray when you need something, or you'll come together and be civil as family members only on certain days and occasions. But it's not like you're practicing the fruitage of the Spirit throughout your life. Perhaps there's something of the flesh that's been eating at you, and kind of just like totally um just has a stronghold on you. So there's a demon inside you, a spirit of wickedness, of evilness, and you're asking for, say you're practicing these spirits, say you're practicing witchcraft, or you're practicing uh, fornication or whatever, something, and you're still wanting to get close to God and you're wanting his blessing, well, it's not going to work, because it's like clashing. It's like you have to be pure, you have to be holy because God is holy. And a lot of people think, well, I can't be holy because I'm not perfect. I'm like, you can sure try. You can try to be holy. You can try to get your Father's approval. And that's the thing. When you try, it's like the blessing, you'll get the blessing. The blessing of God is what makes you rich. So it's just, it all comes together, and it's kind of like I said, it's like a hack. You just basically, you're hacking the system, but it's not really a hack because it's in the Bible, but most people don't realize the power of it to change your life. To, that God is there for us. He shows himself in so many manners, like the Spirit of God, the sun, the warmth of the sun, the air, the trees, the flowers, the food, all these blessings that we have, the relationships that we have with one another. That's the fruitage of God. That's the blessing of God. And that's what makes you rich. So we can easily ignore these things all day, every day. But when you acknowledge God's existence and you have a yearning for, like, to seek from him and to hear from him, that's what's going to make you rich, because he hears you. And that peace that he has, that love that he wants you as a child, that will be given. It's like the love that you have for a newborn baby. A love you have that you're like, it doesn't matter how old that kid gets, you're still going to love that kid. If you're a decent parent, if that parent doesn't have the love of God, or doesn't have the desire to nurture that baby, that's of human. That's everywhere. But I'm talking about the nurture of the Almighty Creator towards you, and how to seek that blessing. And that's the blessing that we're supposed to seek. That's the blessing that we want. And that's how I just kind of felt like it's important that we figure out how to get that blessing, how to keep it, how to walk with God on a daily basis. So when these things do happen, all right, it's going to happen. Life will happen. But when they do happen, you're automatically thinking about how God can help you, how he's going to give you the strength to go through it. Not how our own strength, our own experience, or our own wisdom, or our own parents, or our own friends, or minister, or pastor, or whoever you're putting your trust in. It's not from us, it's of God. So God is the one who's going to walk you through this. And he may put people of God in front of you to help you, to open your eyes, to look, this is the way, go through here. But you have to have the able to hear, have the ear to hear. A lot of people aren't listening right now. They're so caught up in the flesh. They're so caught up in the spirit of the world, of the things, the desires, the holidays, or whatever it is that they're just so caught up in. Work, money, anything, that you lose focus on the blessing of God. And he's the only one that can give it to you, but he's not going to give it to somebody that doesn't look for him. All right. He will give it to people that seek him. So yeah, that's why the one scripture says you must love God with your whole heart. Your whole heart. It says mind and soul too, but your whole heart, a big old heart, you have to love him. And then once you find that love and you show that and you're able to express that love towards the Almighty, it's like that's the beginning. What the whole scripture, you must love your God with your whole heart, mind, and soul. And then it says you must love your neighbor as yourself. But those are the keys to happiness. It's the keys to success, the keys to blessing, and it's been there the whole time. It's just sometimes we just need to hear it. And you probably hear this when you're going through something. You'll probably hear this when you need it. Because God will he'll give you what you need when you need it. And anyways, I just felt like to share this with you all, and hopefully benefit somebody. All right, guys, love you.